Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Brian and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the new Milwaukee M12 fuel digital torque wrench. But before we begin, today's going to be the first day, as you see, shooting in my office here. This little office I set up. It's a work in progress. We're going to see how it works. I feel like it's going to save me some time from having to set everything up out in the garage, bring everything back in here, edit everything, especially when I'm doing my live streams. Now, obviously, whenever I'm doing on-hands tool reviews, I'll be out in the garage. But for videos like this and for live streams and whatnot, I feel like this is going to save me a whole lot of time. So we'll see how it goes. And today is going to be the first time I'm going to try to do a weekly video where I'll discuss a new tool, a good tool deal, or maybe anything. The topic really is going to be tools, automobiles, but if you have any suggestions or anything you want to talk about, leave them in the comments or get a hold of me on social media. All my links for social media will be down in the description. And if you're new here and you're into tool reviews, cars, projects, tips, anything, man, make sure you subscribe below because I try to upload 2 to 3 videos a week. And I do a live stream a week. As a lot of people may know, if you've been around this channel, I've been seriously impressed with Milwaukee. And I used to be a big DeWalt fan. I owned a bunch of DeWalt tools. And about 6 months ago, I purchased some M12 Milwaukee tools, a drill, and then I bought the impact driver. And I was seriously impressed with those tools. Now, DeWalt, they don't have a 12-volt line whatsoever. I mean, they don't even have a cordless ratchet, which is crazy because, I mean, like, we know Stanley Black & Decker owns DeWalt, and Stanley Black & Decker owns Mac Tools, and Mac Tools has a 1/4 inch and a 3/8 cordless ratchet. So I'm not sure why they don't have those available for DeWalt. Now, I feel like DeWalt's kind of geared more towards like a carpenter or something like that, whereas I feel like Milwaukee's more broad and they're kind of geared towards electricians, mechanics. So I feel like that Milwaukee's a better fit for me, so I did start to switch over from DeWalt 20 volt to Milwaukee 18 volt, but 20 volt, 18 volt is the same thing. Now, I do have some DeWalt 60 volt tools, and I do like the DeWalt 60 volt tools, so I am sticking with the DeWalt 60 volt tools. I have the grinder, the Sawzall, and I have the cordless weed eater, and I'm going to expand that collection as well. So I am going to stick with DeWalt 460 volt, but I've already pretty much made the transition to Milwaukee as far as M18 and then their 12 volt. Like I said, I didn't really own any DeWalt 12 volt tools. Now, DeWalt has recently released a 12 volt brushless impact driver and drill, and I just feel like it's a little bit too late for me. So I've went ahead and made the switch. I first heard about this M12 digital torque wrench about 6 months ago or so. It was in June of this year, 2019. And there was a few videos where Milwaukee did some demonstrations, and it was supposed to be available for purchase around November of 2019 this year. And it is available to purchase right now. The digital torque wrench will come in the 3/8 and 1/2 inch drive. It will feature their trademark Power State brushless motor, which they claim gives you a longer battery life, more power, more run time, and we can see that they claim their Power State brushless motor is packed with 4 times the amount of power generating components and has higher grade rare earth magnets and over 60% more torque than other brushless motors, which we see here that they compare it to the Makita brushless motor. But if we scroll down a little further, they also compare it to the DeWalt brushless motor. They have a quote here from Popular Mechanics where they said, "To produce more strength, ellipsis, engineers at Milwaukee redesigned the motor of the new M18 fuel drill. The result is a tool that generates about 25% more torque than the average 18 volt drill and can create big holes faster than any of them." They claim 60% more torque and over 80% more power under load. And this also features their trademark RedLink Plus intelligence, which is hardware and software that they say is the world's most advanced system of cordless power tool electronics that will maximize performance and protect the user's investment. RedLink Plus intelligence is a best-in-class system that integrates full circle communication between tool, battery, and charger, and constantly monitors this internal network to maintain ideal conditions. And as I said, this is powered by their M12 battery line, which allows you to use their 1.5, 2.0, 4.0, and 6.0 amp hour batteries that they have available at this time. Now, what makes this tool unique is that not only is it a digital torque wrench, but it's also a cordless ratchet. So instead of having to manually run your fastener down, get it snug, this will operate as a cordless ratchet would do and will allow you to run the fastener down to get it close, and then you can manually apply your desired torque afterwards. With your traditional torque wrench, I really try not to use it until I have the fastener down snug. I want to try to use it as less as possible to try to keep it in calibration as long as possible. So this for me would be a tremendous time saver, in which we can see that they claim a 50% faster installation, which I definitely have to agree with, maybe even more. This tool has an LCD screen which is used to display different settings on the tool and gives you a reading of the torque you are aiming for and the torque you have applied. Similar to my Mako digital torque wrench, this has 4 indicators to notify you once you've achieved the desired torque: an LCD screen, LED light, an audible noise, and a vibration in the tool. This tool can measure foot-pounds, inch-pounds, newton meters, and something kgcm, which from what I can find out is kilograms 4 centimeters or something. I've never really heard of that unit of measurement, and I'm not sure what it's exactly used for. So if you know, definitely leave it down in the comments, because I can find out really nothing about it except for that 1 kgcm is equal to 0.09807 newton meters. This tool has 6 pre-programmed languages, which include English, Spanish, and French. This tool also utilizes the Milwaukee one-key design, which allows you to connect your tool to your smartphone or other devices, and it gives you the ability to record torquing fasteners. So this is a good feature for the clipboard warriors and for management, and for you to verify that you have torqued said bolt down at said time. So it protects you, but it also allows them to keep tabs on what you're doing. And that's pretty much what the one key design. Now you can do some things through your tool. It'll track your tools. It'll also allow you to control your torque in certain situations, but it's also a way for people to keep track of their tools. So like management and everything else can keep track of who has what tool, what they're doing with that tool. The 3/8 torque wrench is available as a bare tool 2465-20 or as a kit 2465-22, and the kit includes 2 2-amp-hour batteries, a charger, and both the bare tool and the kit comes with a hard shell case. It has a speed of 0 to 100 RPMs. It has a ball detent style anvil, a 4.5-degree arc swing, which equates to about an 84 tooth ratchet. It has a range of 10 to 100 foot-pounds, 120 to 1,200 inch-pounds, and you can calculate the other measurements as well. This tool has a length of 23.3 inches and a weight of 5.5 pounds. They recommend that this tool be calibrated every year or every 5,000 cycles, and they also claim this to be accurate within plus or minus 2%. And this item comes with the standard Milwaukee 5-year manufacturer warranty that I believe all of their cordless tools come with, as far as I know. The Milwaukee half-inch fuel digital torque wrench is available as a bare tool 2466-20 or as a combo kit 2466-22, which also includes 2 2-amp-hour batteries, and both of these also come in a hard shell case. The half-inch torque wrench has similar specs to the 3/8 torque wrench in that it has a speed of 100 RPMs, a ball detent style anvil, a 4.5-degree arc swing, but this has a range of 10 foot-pounds to 150 foot-pounds, and you can also convert those to inch-pounds, newton meters, or whatever. And this tool has a length of 23.5 inches and a weight of 5.7 pounds, so it is 0.2 inches longer and 0.2 pounds heavier than the 3/8 version. They also recommend this tool to be calibrated once every year or every 5,000 cycles. Now, I'm not sure what a cycle is, considering that this is a cordless ratchet as well. I don't know if that's exactly when you apply your said torque, but since this can work as a cordless ratchet, it may speed that up. I don't know. This is also claimed to be accurate within plus or minus 2%. And as with the 3/8 tool and all other Milwaukee cordless tools, this does come with a 5-year warranty. Both of these tools will come with a calibration certificate, and the MSRP on both of these tools are exactly the same. It's $599 for a bare tool, and for the kit with 2 2-amp-hour batteries, it comes in at $749. So it is pricey. For instance, my Mako Tools digital torque wrench cost me $599. Now, they may have that Mako torque wrench on promo at times, but I haven't seen it on promo, and I paid the full $599 for it. Milwaukee is continually pushing into the automotive, electrical fields. They're constantly innovating, and like I said, that's one reason why I like Milwaukee tools. And this is a very interesting tool To my knowledge, there really is no other tools like it on the market. The fact that it could be a digital torque wrench and a cordless ratchet. And like I said, when I'm using a traditional torque wrench, I don't use it until I'm ready to apply the torque. So I have to drag out another ratchet, another wrench, and I'll get it down snug, and then I'll use a torque wrench. So I have to spend time switching over the socket, bringing out another tool, putting a tool back up. So it will save me a lot of time, and it'll also make it more efficient in that you don't have to have extra tools out and risk losing that tool or putting wear and tear on your other tool as well. So this would be more efficient if it works the way it's supposed to work. Another important feature of these tools that I haven't really discussed yet is the fact that you can set your torque when you're using your cordless ratchet function. So for instance, if I'm torquing a bolt down to say 75 foot-pounds, I can set it to about 50, squeeze the trigger, run it down, and I can feel comfortable that I'm not going to exceed the torque that I'm looking for. I really like the idea of being able to use this tool with my already existing M12 batteries because, I mean, if you own a digital torque wrench, then you know that they drink batteries fast. And even when you're not using a tool, if you keep your batteries in the tool, it will drain those batteries. So I've gotten to the habit to where I will pull my batteries out every time I'm not using my torque wrench. And I don't do that just because I'm trying to save my batteries, but I also do it because just in case those batteries explode, that's an expensive investment for me to lose just because I have some batteries in there that may leak, may explode. So I'm definitely protecting that tool. So I do like the fact that they can use the M12 batteries, so that's one less consumable as well that you have to worry about. Another thing I like about this tool is the fact that it is a fuel cordless ratchet style, and the fact that the head is bigger, because I just did a video where I compared the Earthquake XT to the Milwaukee brushed cordless ratchet, and one of my complaints about the Milwaukee brushed cordless ratchet is the fact that the head is so small that the switch is really tiny and it doesn't set out from the head, so you have a hard time turning that switch to on and off, especially when you're using gloves. If your hands are cold, it definitely can be a pain. So I'm happy to see that this head is bigger than the brush version of the Milwaukee cordless ratchet. And you know, I honestly can't wait. I would like to try this tool out, but you know, at this time I've already paid $600 for a digital torque wrench. So for me to go out and spend $599, $749 on this tool, I would essentially be doing it just to do a review, and at this time, you know, that's just not in my budget. But if I ever do get the chance, or if I ever have the money, then I definitely would like to check this out. Now that we've talked about this tool, let's talk about a couple of things that I don't like, just based off of what I know, obviously. And the first few things I am kind of nitpicking, but there are a couple things that may be deal breakers for me and could possibly be deal breakers for you as well. The first thing is the fact that, yes, I do like that this is a cordless ratchet, but the RPMs on it are kind of slow. Is that a big deal? No, like I said, these are just nitpicking things, the first few things, but that is slow. I mean, even when compared to the Earthquake XT, the Earthquake XT has 170 RPMs, and I feel like that tool is really slow. So this is even slower. But with that being said, the fact that it even does the cordless ratchet feature, the RPMs isn't really a humongous deal. Secondly, I do like the fact that this tool has the LED light with the buzz, the beep, and the LCD screen to show you when you've reached your desired torque. Now, this will turn green when you've hit your torque, and if you're over torquing, it'll turn red. But with my Mako digital torque wrench, it actually steps up. It'll step up in green a few steps, then yellow a few steps, and then when you've hit your torque, it'll turn red. So you have a good indication when you're getting close. Green close, yellow closer, red stop. So I do like that, and I've kind of got used to using that. So the fact that this just has one level, like I said, this is just something I'm nitpicking at, but I wish that it would have the different levels like the Mako torque wrench. And the last thing that I'll nitpick about is the fact that this head is fixed and not a flex head. Now, when you talk about a flex head on a torque wrench, you don't get much flex, but it does give you a little bit. And I have heard people say that it affects the accuracy of the tool, but it does make the tool more versatile, and you may be able to get in somewhere that you probably couldn't if you had the fixed head version. So I kind of do wish that they had this available as a flex head. But now that we've talked about the little nitpicky things, let's talk about a couple things that I feel like are big critical things that may determine whether you buy this tool or not. The first is the range of the tool. Now, when we talk about the range of the 3/8 digital torque wrench, it goes from 10 to 100 foot-pounds. I feel like that's sufficient. I feel like that's great. I feel like that's about exactly where I'm going to want a 3/8 torque wrench to be. But when we get into the 1/2 inch digital torque wrench, we're looking at a range from 10 foot-pounds to 150 foot-pounds. Now, most of your upper end and even your middle grade good torque digital torque wrenches, click style torque wrenches in the 1/2 inch version will go from about 50 to 250. Now my Mako digital torque wrench, it goes from 25 to 250. So that's a great range for that tool. It allows me to use that tool in a variety of different situations. So with this tool, it does go down to 10, but when I'm at 10, you know, like I said, I'm going to reach for the 3/8 torque wrench. But I do like the fact that it goes to 10, so it does give me that option to use that tool if I'm torquing something down that low. But once we get to the upper end at 150 foot-pounds, that's where a lot of your cheaper torque wrenches will go to, 150 foot-pounds. And if you have to go above 150, now you're going to need to have another torque wrench. So this kind of defeats the purpose of this tool being something that is more efficient and something you can use in a variety of different situations. So that does kind of hurt this tool in that fact. And the last thing that may be the main weakness of this tool for the purpose that I'm going to use this tool for is the fact that this torque wrench does not do angles. The reason you need angles is that some bolts you deal with are torque to yield bolts or stretch bolts. What that means is once those bolts reach a certain torque, they begin to stretch. So for instance, in a lot of cylinder head bolts, they are torque to yield bolts. So when you tighten down a cylinder head, they'll give you a sequence to go in, and there usually is also a few steps to go in. So say for instance, if I'm torquing a bolt down on a cylinder head and they say do one pass at 50 and then the next pass they say to go 75 degrees or whatever. The reason that they say go to 75 degrees is because the 50 would be the yield point of that bolt. So if you try to apply a manual force measurement such as foot-pounds, you're not going to get an accurate measurement because that bolt is in fact stretching at that point. So you really need a torque wrench to measure in angles as well as foot-pounds. So the fact that this tool doesn't give you that option kind of really hurts the tool for the application I would need it for. Because now not only if I have to torque anything down above 150, but if I need to do angles, I need to have another torque wrench as well. If you don't deal with torque to yield bolts or stretch bolts, then obviously this won't be a big deal to you. But if you ever need to use angles, then you're going to wish you had a torque wrench that measured in angles or degrees. So that could be a deal breaker for me and could be a deal breaker for you as well. But all in all, I love the direction that this tool's went in. I mean, a cordless ratchet and a digital torque wrench. Now, like I said, there are some things that may be deal breakers, but they are going in the right direction with this tool. And I mean, Milwaukee overall, with the innovation, the tool selection, the aesthetics, the warranty, and the performance of their tools, I feel like that they're unmatched at this time in the cordless tool realm. Now, if you don't like Milwaukee, then that's fine, you know, but for me, I feel like that at this time, Milwaukee is the best. Now, some people have said that they don't like Milwaukee simply because of the Milwaukee, and I don't like to use this term, but fanboys. Now, I'm not going to let other people drive me off a tool that I feel like is a quality tool and use what I feel like is an inferior tool just because I don't like the people that like those tools. I'm going to use the best tool that I feel like is the best tool for the job and feel like is the best tool for my budget. So what do you guys think about this new digital torque wrench? Do you think that the complaints that I have are valid? Do you think that I'm nitpicking too much? Or do you think this tool will work great for what you need it for? And I mean, it is pricey. So coming in at $599 and $749 for the kit, I feel like it is lacking in a few critical areas. But if you want to watch the Milwaukee Brush cordless ratchet compared to the Earthquake XT cordless ratchet from Harbor Freight, click this video right here. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, click this round button right here. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate y'all watching. Till next time, stay real.